John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, over here at the Alkemalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show that we care about the things that we do. And today I would like to just talk a little bit about business. A lot of time people think business you just open up, put some stuff in a building and just start selling. But there's a whole lot that goes with that. And when I say it's a whole lot that goes with that, most of the time, you know, without doing our due diligence, we just get the building, excuse me, and start buying merchandise and think we can just, put stuff up in a place. But you have to, first of all, get a business name. You have to get licensed. You have to have sellers because you ought to buy your, and it all depends upon what kind of business you have. And like I always tell people, regardless to what kind of business you have, a whole lot of people not going to see what you see. So it's very important that if you're going to have partners, that you got the right partners. And just because someone has money, don't mean that they are the right partner for you. So you got to make sure that you have a good understanding with the people that you're going into business with, and that pretty much you and them is pretty much on the same page. You got the same idea, pretty much want the same thing out of life. You want to have something. You don't. Some people, what they say, do business, and you have people in business, and then you have people that's doing business. And there have been times that I went into business with other people, and they was in business, but they wasn't really doing business. And I think it was just for the sake of saying that they was in business, they was just happy just to do that, and regardless to win or draw, if they made money or didn't make money, they just liked the fact that they was in business. But most important, like I say, if you're going to have partners, and in fact, before I go too much deeper into this here, I'm gonna let my brother here, Elder Piaki, kind of share some of the experience that he had with his business partners when he was on a Black World bookstore and the things that he went through because everybody wasn't on the same page. Piaka, could you share some of that information with us?
It is very timely what you're speaking on, brother, because being in business is no joke. When you have to count on yourself, your ingenuity, your experience, and your trust in your partners. Because when you start a business with partners, you got an LLC, and each one in that particular corporation has an individual vote in which way that business should go. Now, when you outvoted by your two partners, you're already at a disadvantage. So whatever they say goes, and what you say don't matter. And there's a way of doing business though with a little integrity. I mean, if you're gonna sideswipe your partner and you don't let him know ahead of time what your plans are, and the next day he comes in and finds out that the business is canceled and you had no say so, in no intervention. You couldn't be bought out. You couldn't suggest something. Well, you feel lost, left out, defeated, and you feel betrayed. That's how partners can do you. They may not mean to do it in the beginning, but maybe they moved on into some other direction. And sometimes those directions can be misleading, can leave other partners out. And your partners, you need to know more about their relationship between them and yourself. Because if they had a prior relationship, especially male and female, uh, the male was the dominant side and the female going along with the partnership. So those two already are a voting block against the one partner. So you're in a business where you're not going to get many buyers to come in off the street, because in the book business, the most top you're going to get is 40% on your profit margin. Now, if you want to make 100%, you got to make up that other 60% with other items that you would sell to the public. You would put in stuff like framing, picture framing, posters framing, artwork framing. You can create a little clientele with that type of service in your business. You can put up art collections with type of art that you would have that's exclusive and not everybody carry it. You can build a clientele around that type of selection of items. But you have to have a clientele and a outlet or a way to notify your public. Uh, it was lucky for me at one time to be in a space, in a place where it was on one of the major thoroughfares of Detroit, where every day or 3 to 4, 5,000 cars ride by, but they didn't stop. So you don't get that type of clientele where every day you got somebody stopping in, because I'd be sitting up in my store sometime Monday through Friday and nobody come in, except some of the guys that lived up under the Belle Isle Bridge at night. They would come over in the morning and want to use the restroom. But all in all, if you're going in business with partners, know who your partners are. At least have a sit down and understanding that everyone is in agreement in which direction the business is going to go. Uh, you can be friends with them, and all the time the money is not going to really make the business. It's going to be the partnership, the insight, the inventiveness of your partners, the risk taking. You're going to have to make decisions that you can all come to the table and agree on. I just so happen to have a business that most people ask the question, why you go on the east side with a bookstore? Well, at the time, it wasn't but one other major bookstore in the city, and that was the Shrine of the Black Madonna. And when we opened up on the east side, we gave that store a little competition. They hadn't had that kind of competition in the book business for a while. Got national radio recognition, talking on talk radio. A lot of good things. Got involved a little political in some things, but all in all, in the long run, the partnership dissolved because there was no communication with two of the voters, if you want to call them that. I won't name no names, but most people that do business want to see their business grow. And I had opportunities that would offer that I could have took and open up some sites in different towns like Youngstown, Ohio, Harlem, New York. One brother came up south one weekend and asked me, were we doing a franchise with that particular store? And it gave me thoughts that, yeah, we can grow with this if we keep our heads on straight. And you would expect your partners to see eye to eye with your growth prospect, like where we can expand, get bigger, make a little more money, employ a few more people. But all in all, you would think your partners would agree with something like that. But most partners that I had ran into had their own ulterior motive behind what they wanted to be as a partner. So it was certain things that we did as partnership, and there were certain things they did as individuals. So again, being outvoted in the corporation, each member of the corporation got one vote. And if you outvoted 2-1, you lose. So I lost. And I'm I'm sitting next to a brother here. If I'd have knew him back at the time that I was in business, we both probably be millionaires about right now. I just want to say that about Brother John, the businessman with a conscience. But yeah, you are going to go in business, you're going to have to be serious about getting up, making that business run. If you by yourself or if you got partners, and you're going to have to sit down and discuss things and come to an agreement with things. And sometimes, and my best advice is get it on paper. Have an attorney with you. Don't just go by somebody's word all the time. That'll protect you and your partners. So uh, I can say a lot of things, but I had a good run, 4 or 5 years, and we made a difference while we were open. Got people to read more, brought in some major personalities, uh, Claude Anderson, Johnny Cochran, uh, some other names, a lot of names. They had Dr. Joseph Ben Yakanan, Dr. John Henry Clark. Uh, Claude Anderson did, I think, when he brought Black Label White Wealth, that was his first time out with his book at our bookstore. So we made a difference. And I think if you young people want to go into the book business, remember you got to add to it, not take from it. And thank you for listening to this old guy.
Well, thank you, Elder Piaki. I was listening to you, and definitely it got my attention because most important, you uh, paper. There's a paper trail, like he said. Documentations. You have to. Uh, my suggestion is get legal documents and agreements where everybody agree upon the same thing and be on the same page. And if it's two or three, or if it's just two or one or whoever. But most important, the business is what you're trying to grow, not yourself. And we have to remember that we have to put that business first. And it's going to come a whole lot of times in business, you're going to have to deny yourself. And there's a whole lot of times that I denied myself. Uh, I, there was a lot of things I wanted that I chose not to get because I was trying to build the business and focusing on trying to build that business. And there was a lot of times I spent nights in the business. And most important, everybody wants to be paid, but you can't get paid if you taking all the money. I mean, you can't build a business if you're taking all the money and paying yourself and your partners. So one of my things was priority was the business, and I believed in turning it over. I believe in taking uh, whatever I turned over today, I put it back in the next day, and I kept believing, just keep turning it over and over and over, and watch it grow. I tell people, excuse me, that I built my business from a penny candy store, and penny makes dollars, believe it or not. I started off with, I think, $20 and a little merchandise, but I tell the story every now and then about how I used to go to the dollar store and buy so many dollar items and put them in there and charge a little bit more when I sold that. I bought two, three more items. But don't nobody see your dream but you. So it's very important that in business, even with documentation, even with uh, papers saying that you agree to do certain things, you have to talk to one another and get an understanding and make sure that you're on the same page. Even Elder Piaki and I, most important to him right now is it seemed to be one of his priorities is to make sure that I'm okay. And a lot of time he asks me, "You okay? Do you need anything?" Well, in business, most important that if you take care of your business will take care of you. And I learned that my gift is a God-given gift. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to school, and I didn't learn business, but I learned business firsthand by just doing business. And common sense told me that if I don't have nothing, I can't sell anything. So I had to buy something to sell. So the more I bought, the more I was able to sell. So I just didn't buy a cup and sell a cup and buy another cup. Once I sold that cup, I bought 2 cups. And when I sold those 2 cups, I bought 3, 4 more cups. And then once I got enough of cups, then I began to buy forks, knives, and spoons, and different things. And that helped the business to grow. And like I say, unfortunately, at one time I had went into business with someone else, and what they did when the business started making money, instead of putting the money back in the business, what they chose to do is they went and bought a brand new car. And I'm like, what? That really kind of ticked me off because we needed a van or a truck or something of that sort so that we could pick up inventory in. So, excuse me, he went and bought a brand new car, and I went and bought a 12-year-old van so I could haul stuff in. And I asked him, I said, after then the business started doing it, it went from just growing and growing and growing. It became to be on a roller coaster ride. It was up and down, up and down, up and down, until eventually because of the wrong decisions, making the wrong decisions, not taking care of the business, and so it could take care of itself and begin to take care of himself more so, we end up going out of business. So I just want you to know that you have to take care of your business. And I'm going to give you a little simple example. I tell people, business is business. I don't care what way you look at it. Life is business itself. Even everyday life, everyday living. To own a home, if you got a job, you got to go to work. You buy a home, you get a home. If you don't pay that mortgage, you won't have that home loan. So, and once you get that house, you got to get that light bill, the lights on, the gas on, the water on. And if you don't pay those bills, this is business. This is still business I'm talking about. You got to take care of the business at hand. So the business at hand, owning a home, taking care of the utilities, that keeps everything running smooth. So now that you got all that stuff and you get you some furniture and stuff and you pay for it, fine. But you got to be able to pay the mortgage, do the groceries, and all that other different stuff. So on that note, remember, business is business, and if you take care of it, do what you need to do. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the El Cumalan Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And thank you for listening. Have a great day.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.